Hey, beautiful souls. Do you want to know how to start listening to your angels and your instincts? Come on. They're always trying to reach you. And so often we don't pay attention. So it's instincts. It's you get the messages through this feeling. Like, for example, I was stopped at a stop sign the one day and I had remembered this little tree of life incense thing for my vehicle. Randomly comes into my head. And I remember that it's at this store and I'm at the stop sign kind of just doors down from this store. And I get this feeling like go in and buy that tree of life incense thing. I really wanted it, didn't need it. And this is what I do when I'm coming across things. I just say to myself, like, do I need it? Do I want it? Can it wait? It's always that it can wait. But in that moment, this instinct was so strong. So then I start thinking to myself, okay, I must be having this feeling for a reason. And so I didn't second guess it. I went, okay, I'm going to go and get this tree of life incense thing. So I go to the store. And it turns out that it had nothing to do with the incense thing. My angels, my instincts were using that as something that they knew would lure me into the store because there, at that time, was a Reiki master teacher and I wanted to learn energy healing. I had had that instinct weeks before. And all of a sudden here now I'm hand in hand talking with this instructor and getting this message. She's like, well, I'm going to be starting another session. And it was just divine timing. But do you see how, had I have talked myself out of that weird thought at that moment, it was actually divine intervention. It was a message directly for me to be able to follow my divine path. And so I was able to do that and then go into energy healing, which transformed my life, absolutely transformed my life on so many levels that I could not have even thought of. And so often we get these ideas, but then we will create resistance around it. We'll start talking ourselves out of it with, right? And you turn off that instinct. Just listen, because it always ends up being bigger and better than you can know. Please know that you're not necessarily driving. You charted this life on the other side, and you have a spirit guide, and you have angels, and you have divine intervention above you. This beautiful army, I love to call us, above us, is always trying to guide us. And our job is simply to just listen. Just listen. So in every aspect of your life, when something comes up, and here's how you're going to know it's a direct message from God or from angels, whatever it is that you believe in. Please don't let language separate your ability to connect to source, to this incredible energy. I love how the indigenous call it the great mystery. Can we just leave it at that? It's just a great mystery. But every one of us who wants to put a word or a context to it, we're all trying to simply identify the same thing, a feeling, a vibration, an all-knowing that can't necessarily be verbalized, but it doesn't mean that it's not real. Electricity is real. You can't see it, but you know it's there. You see its effects. You feel its effects when the lights go on. Same inside of you. You'll feel the effects when the light goes on. Just listen. Please just start to listen. And it's really those repeating moments. So you might have an idea one night before bed, because really that's when your brain waves are at a different level. You might have the idea come up again in the shower the next day and you're like, oh, there's that thought again. You're driving, all of a sudden it pops into your head again. That's a divine message. It doesn't keep popping up for nothing. And then you might see angel numbers. You see 1111 or 222, 333. When you're starting to see these things, again, they're talking to you. Do you wake up in the middle of the night at 444 in the morning, 333 in the morning? Divine hours, divine hours. They're trying to talk to you. Sit and journal in those moments. What's coming up for you? I don't know why. And it can be random. Don't think that everything has to be in a certain structure, or it has to be a right or a wrong way. Just write whatever's coming up for you. I don't know why I'm awake. And things will start to come, and you will be blowing your own mind. It's amazing. But don't instead wake up and go, you have that instinct, and then you might go back to scrolling and distract yourself. Then you miss the message. They'll keep trying to reach you, but if you keep not listening, it could be instincts where you're supposed to change the direction in your life. This has happened lots for me, where you're just done. You're just done at the job you're at. You're just done doing whatever it is that you're doing. You just know that something else has to happen because you're not fulfilled anymore, but you don't know how. And so you'll keep talking yourself out of it. Well, I'd like to quit this job, or I'd like to do something different, but. No buts. Take the time to start doing the research. Put that resume out. Seek other ideas for jobs. Look at what other opportunities and potentials could possibly be out there for you instead of feeling stuck. And keep talking yourself out of it because you just can't see how it's going to happen. The key to following your instincts and your angels is to let go of how it's going to happen. Just do it and allow it to happen. That's the most magical part, when you allow it to happen. Because here's what happens if you don't. And I've seen this too often. People saying to me, they know they need to change. They know they need to do something, but they're not listening. They're not listening. And myself included. And then all of a sudden, something happens. Some devastating, critical circumstance takes place that then makes you have to. Now you have to change because there's something that's come up, and there is no other choice anymore. Now you're forced to do it. But what I'm learning is that if we just listen to those instincts, if you listen to those messages that come to you, you don't ever have to go through that crazy crisis transition. It can be so much more divine intervention and such a pleasurable, easy transition if you listen. If you listen. And I'm getting better and better at that, but it's still, we're human, and so often we'll resist. Because we do have this like third dimensional concept, this feeling of like, well, if I can't see it, if it isn't in black and white, if it's not in front of me, if I can't touch it, it can't be real. That's not the case. You know that for a fact, because if you reflect on your life, any time that you didn't know how something was going to work out, or it always did, didn't it? You always survived everything you ever thought you couldn't make it through. You did. You did. So please know that you have 100% success rate. And it can be even more successful if you choose to start truly honoring what you're being guided to do, instead of following the mundane routine and not liking something, but staying in it anyways because you can't see another way. Just start seeking out another way. And from there, you're going to be guided. You're going to have those instincts. You're going to have those messages. And you can choose to follow them or not, and you'll be pushed in the direction. So I hope that something that I'm sharing resonates, because I've truly been living it. And it's absolutely divine when you just start listening. Like, there's times I'm doing things I'm not even sure why I'm being guided to do it, but I know I have to because it kept coming up for me. And it's such an incredible journey. Such an incredible journey when you do start to listen. It helps you feel alive when you're doing something different all of the time. If there's always something that is new to you, that's how you stay alive. I feel like our soul is here, and it's either you're growing or you're decaying, meaning moment by moment, you're just falling apart more and more and more. And I pray, please don't stay there. Don't stay there, because you can change that whole mentality. The only reason that you're feeling stuck and depressed and down is because your soul is seeking adventure. Your soul is seeking something new. It wants a new experience. And if you're not giving it that, then it's screaming at you. And it'll come out in all kinds of diseasing kind of ways, whether that's mentally, physically, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Everything starts to scream at you, I call it, when you're feeling not happy. You can be happy because happiness is a vibration that you choose in each moment. And even if just in this moment, just for today, you say, I'm choosing peace. Just for today, I'm going to choose to focus on things that I'm grateful for. Be grateful for the things that you do have. And that in itself can start bringing in the momentum for more to be happy about, more to be grateful for. Oh, I pray that everybody is awakening. I pray so much that everyone starts to listen to your instincts, listen to your angels. They're always talking to you. They're always giving you instincts. But please take the time to listen, because your best life is waiting for you. It really is. And less is more. We are convinced, it seems, I'm observing it, that everyone seems to identify happiness with that next new purchase. Horrible. Less is more. You don't need things. You need experiences. It's one of my favorite quotes. Collect moments, not things. That's what you take with you to the other side, your experiences. But we are in a digital world where they would prefer us not to have experiences. They would prefer us not to tap in, tune in, not to find out that we have an inner compass and a soul purpose and a journey, and that we're divinely guided and that we have protection and we have direction. They don't want us to know that. They want us to follow the script. Keep scrolling, keep buying, and keep feeding an industry instead of your own divine, beautiful life. I love you. I love you all so much, beautiful souls. Don't let this universe and this world of darkness stop you from seeing the light. Because truly, I think a part of our destiny is to realize that we can create heaven on earth. It's a mindset through our mind, our body, our soul, our spirit. If we connect those things back to source, back to your inner compass inside, back to letting go of all of the distractions and the illusions and the lies, that is where this whole new world is going to exist. Because if each one of us tap in and then unite with that God center source within us and start to see it in everyone else around us, then we can live in a new world where we're one love, one world of peace, love, unity, and community. We can all rise together the minute that we stop letting this system separate us from our divine purpose. It's really, really a choice. Again, I really hope that something I've shared resonates. And if it does, subscribe. Please also leave a comment. Let me know that maybe you've made it through the whole video. If there's something that I've said that resonated with you. Do you have a question for me? Is there anything that you're curious about, like with your divine purpose, like why you're here? Or is there a point where you're having an inner conflict or you just don't know what's next? Ask questions. Ask me a question, but you don't have to ask me. You can ask Source. You can ask your angels and you'll get a message. Please remember to do that. I love you. Much love and light, as we are all here to rise and shine, one moment at a time. I love you. Much love.